The Audi A4 has been the thorn in the side of the BMW 3 Series for some time now, and this latest B9 generation is actually really rather good. But Audi isn't stopping there, it's given this car a redesign, and it's a big one. So, can this car now stand toe-to-toe with some of its fresher, newer rivals? Well, we're here in the Italian Alps to find out. This may technically be just a facelift, but the entire exterior has pretty much been redesigned, taking inspiration from the new A6, A7 and A8. There's a new slimmer and flatter single frame grille that's now mounted lower, and that's why the hood shutline is mounted just above it. The LED headlights, which are available with matrix LED technology, now feature these slashers for the daytime running lights, and these air intakes on the side have also been redesigned. You still get a clamshell bonnet, but the shoulder line that carries the shut line has been broken up in the middle to emphasize the four wheel arches. After all, this car does come with an option of quattro all-wheel drive. There's another crease that carries the door handles, and the C-pillar has been given a faster rake to make this car look more dynamic. Around the back, the slash graphic is repeated in the taillights, and they are joined together by this new chrome strip, while the rear diffuser now features integrated twin tailpipes. Overall, I think this is a very cohesive redesign, but some of my colleagues think that the light graphics are a little bit over the top. Anyway, let's step inside. There are fewer changes to the interior, but that's not such a bad thing, as this is arguably one of the best cabins in this segment. There's a very sleek, minimalist design with this full-width air vent look, and there's a real sense of quality in here. Everything has a very hefty feel to it. Infotainment-wise, you don't get the dual-screen layout that you have on the new A8, but you do have the latest Audi MMI infotainment system that you can now find on the new Q3 and A1. It's all very smooth and very slick, and you can also customize the home screen like a smartphone, like so. There's also Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as an option, plus Qi wireless smartphone charging. This system is touch only, so you don't have an MMI knob over here. There's instead a very small cubby hole. The optional virtual cockpit on this car has also been redesigned with a new design and layout, as well as an option of a dynamic setting with a very cool digital design. The B9 Audi A4 was one of the largest cars in the segment when it was introduced back in 2016. And as you can see, it still provides plenty of legroom and headroom both at the front and the rear. You also now get 2 USB charge ports, and the boot is still of a competitive size at 480 litres. From launch, the Audi A4 is available with 3 petrol and diesel variants, all of which are powered by a 2-litre turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. There will be more engines coming later on. There's also an S4 variant, which in European markets is now a diesel, although other markets still get a 3-litre turbocharged V6. The one we're driving is the most powerful regular petrol version, making 245 horsepower and 320 Newton meters of torque. That's a little bit less powerful than the old 252 horsepower version, but this one has a new 12-volt mild hybrid system. In fact, most models will get this 12-volt system, while the S4 diesel will have a 48-volt version. The 12-volt system works like any other mild hybrid. It will allow the engine to turn itself off when coasting, and it will also shut the engine off when you're coming to a stop at speeds of under 22 kilometers an hour. If the car is fitted with the right driving assistance systems, it will even detect when the car in front is driving away and will start the engine preemptively. However, unlike the more powerful 48-volt systems, it won't add any accelerated boost when you ask for it. Audi says that the system will reduce fuel consumption by up to 0.4 litres per 100 kilometers. This, I would say, is one of the best engines in the segment. It's very punchy for low down, and it's very smooth. The 7-speed wet dual-clutch transmission is per standard Audi fare, which is to say it's very good. Gear changes are seamless and fairly quick, but it's a little bit hesitant to respond when you floor the throttle. The B9A4 has always been near the top of its class when it comes to refinement, and I'm happy to report that despite the appearance of newer rivals, it's still the case. The cabin is very well insulated, there's very little road and wind noise, and it generally feels like a much bigger, much more upmarket car. The ride is a little bit harder to judge because this car comes with adaptive dampers, which may or may not be offered as an option when a car arrives in Malaysia. What I can tell you is that with this setup, with the comfort suspension, the ride strikes a very fine balance between body control and suppleness. Across the broken tarmac around the area, the A4 rides the bumps very well, and even in dynamic mode, it's plenty comfortable. This is not like the new BMW 3 Series, which is very firm. What we definitely won't get is the dynamic steering on this car, which is variable ratio, and that's a good thing because this car's steering feels a little bit disconnected to the road. It's quick, but you don't really get a sense of connection to the front wheels. I did drive a less powerful 190 horsepower version without the dynamic steering, and it felt much better, much more connected to what's going on. Overall, I really like driving this car. Sure, it doesn't have the sense of fun that you get in something like a 3 Series, but in return you get a much more mature and refined driving experience. If you're looking for a comfortable, well-made and very handsome executive sedan, well, you'll be hard-pressed to find anything that's better than this. All in all, the updates have kept the A4 at the sharp end of the segment. It's still one of the most comfortable and refined cars on sale at the moment, and the car just exudes quality from the minute you open the door. If you're looking for the car that's worth the lots of money you're going to be paying for one, then you really can't go much wrong with the A4.